Today, we're going to really dive into the philosophy behind an educational approach from the top school, specifically how they aim to foster autonomy and competence for parents trying to support their kids. Our mission here is to unpack the science they say can reduce frustration, maybe end those homework battles, and help kids take real ownership of their learning.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is that this whole thing is grounded in motivational psychology, not just, teaching methods. It's based squarely on self-determination theory, SDT. That's Stacey and Ryan's work. And SDT basically says there are three fundamental psychological needs we all have for genuine self-driven motivation.
Right, I've heard of those. Autonomy, competence, and relatedness. There are so many theories out there, but the claim here is pretty bold that by systematically meeting these needs, learning shifts from a chore to something, well, it's something kids actually want to do.
That's the core idea. They're trying to cultivate the desire to learn from within rather than relying on, say, stickers or pressure. And the materials for parents really zero in on those first two, autonomy and competence.
Okay, let's unpack autonomy first. So that's about giving the child a real sense of control, right? Agency over their learning. The source material mentions letting them explore topics at their own pace in ways that feel relevant to them.
Relevance is key.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of, this matters to me. It helps kids connect and honestly remember things better. Psychologically, it makes the information stick. It's about allowing choice in how they engage with the material.
But, okay, the practical question, accountability. If a child has all this autonomy, what stops them from just picking the super easy stuff all the time? How do they actually progress?
That's a good point. It seems they've borrowed a bit from models like the Finnish system. The child does choose tasks, maybe picks the difficulty they prefer. That's the autonomy part. But they have to hit a certain mastery level, like a progression check, to move on.
Yeah.
Something like 90% correct is mentioned. So if they only pick easy tasks, they simply won't pass that check. The system naturally redirects them. It's like you still control the steering wheel, but the GPS highlights the necessary route for reaching the destination. You maintain control, but you're guided towards challenge.
Okay, that makes sense. So that leads us directly into the second pillar, competence. If autonomy is about control, competence is that feeling of, hey, I'm actually getting good at this, feeling effective.
Precisely. It's the thrill of mastery. And that 90% mastery score isn't just a random number. Achieving that high bar is part of building real competence, but, and this is critical, it's supported by instant feedback on basically everything they do, every little micro task.
Instant feedback. Why the emphasis on instant?
Because it closes the gap between action and consequence. Think about learning an instrument. If your coach corrects your hand position immediately, you fix it. You practice it wrong for a week. That mistake becomes muscle memory, much harder to unlearn. Instant feedback stops misunderstandings or errors from becoming sort of automated bad habits. It accelerates skill building correctly.
Got it. So quick correction means you're always practicing the right way. Okay. What about the third need mentioned in SDT, relatedness? How does a system foster that? And how does all this tie together to create that ownership they talk about?
Well, relatedness in this context seems to be nurtured to the AI persona. It's designed to have this consistent, supportive, yet authoritative mentoring voice. The idea is the child feels guided by an expert who genuinely cares about their progress, not just processed by software. They feel seen and supported. And that connects directly to ownership, to psychological safety. This is maybe the most powerful part. The system acts as a completely private space, a safe-to-fail sandbox. All the mistakes, the struggles, they're confidential. There's zero social risk. No judgment from peers, teachers, or even parents looking over their shoulder.
So mistakes aren't embarrassing failures. They're just data points for
Right.
learning.
Exactly. Just diagnostic information purely for improvement. Confidential data. That safety is what frees up a child to take intellectual risks, to try hard problems, to confront things they don't know without fear.
And that's what allows them to step up and take genuine ownership. Because the fear is removed. That's a really powerful concept for lifelong learning.
It really is. It shifts the whole dynamic.
So for you listening, the takeaway seems to be that this approach uses motivation science to structurally change the environment at home. The goal is to move you away from being the homework police towards fostering your child's own self-discipline and internal drive.
Which leaves us with a final thought to consider. If you could set up learning for your child where the process itself reduced frustration and naturally boosted that intrinsic reward, what kind of long-term impact would that have on their confidence, their self-esteem? And, maybe more interestingly, what challenging new skills might they choose to pursue next once that fear of failure is truly gone?